Right, so here's the big news. So, many of you may know, some of you may not know. This is my gasser. It's a 1959 Vauxhall Victor. It's running a Ford 250 crossflow, straight 6. It's got a manifold I made, a Weiand 177 supercharger, and a 650 methanol Holy Carby. Look, I only get the chance to use this maybe twice a year. I don't think I even used it last year. So I'd been on the lookout and thinking about, do I try and find a supercharger for this Mini? And I thought, well, for the sake of just pulling it off, a couple of hours work, I'm going to make a manifold that fits this so I can use the supercharger for both vehicles. So in this episode, you're going to see how I go about making a manifold and getting it up and running, hopefully, on the Mini. So yeah, there she is there. I'm going to get started now. Pull the belt off, pull the blower off, and go home and start mocking it up and see how we go there. So, gonna have a blown Mini Dale truck soon. Dirty feels doing there. All right, here we go. Oh, have to get some rags or something to shove in there. So it's not a massive blower. It's only 177 cubic inches per revolution. But if I spin it 2 to 1 or something, I can probably get 8 or 9 pound out of the 5.3. So yeah, that'll be cool. Just run it with this carby for now, and then see about getting a bigger one depending on how much we do. There we go. Alright, so back to the supercharger project. So this is the old block. I just sat the heads on there and put the manifold on there just to give me a bit of an idea. I measured up the crank and just roughly figured out where that's got to fit. It sort of comes out about, say, that far. So that's to help me position how far back or forward the supercharger will go to make that serpentine pulley line up with that one. Yeah, so I just went and bought some steel. So this is it's some 12mm plate. So whilst I would like to just plonk it straight on there, that middle bit's the outlet. Obviously it's not as wide as that, but it's a lot longer. So if I just sort of made a plate sat straight on top, it's only feed down to this little bit here. So the idea is to so I've got this 100mm plate and this big stuff. So you can see there's a line here. So this bit will be getting cut off. That will end up being over there. So that'll be cut off there. And maybe that way. So there'll be a plate here. And then I'm going to cut some of this stuff, depending on exactly how far back this blower sits. These bits might end up being sort of straight up and down and then like that. So one bit will be welded up to about, so here, this bit will be maybe straight up and down and cut along there, same with the other side. So then there'll be like a little box thing coming up here. And then that big plate will get welded on top there. So the supercharger is going to fit up about that high. Should end up sitting somewhere about like that. So that way, yeah, it feeds it all from the full volume of the supercharger down into that manifold there. And then yeah, this will be welded around here, so I'll be able to just bolt this down. And then what I may look at doing on the sides and the front is just doing like some aluminium polish sheet or something that kind of fills all the way around, just to sort of hide all that and make it look like it's just a big vinyl manifold that goes under there. But the idea is, so then I can unbolt that supercharger really easily, switch this back to NA if I like, and then put that blower back on the gasser. So it's not a real big job. I'm just going to get stuck into the cutting now. I'll probably end up throwing it on the mill later just to get it sort of exactly where I want it. But yeah, for now I'll cut that, start mocking it up, and hopefully I can get it all tacked up. I'm going to leave it no hole cut in the top where the blower goes, and it's a little bit longer as well, so I can fine tune it once cranksy and the pulleys at the right spot, just to get it exactly right in a line. So yeah, it should be a fun little project, and cheap too. I think the steel end cost me $52 or something, so that's, by the time I get it powder coated, it might be, you know, 120, 150 bucks by the time I do everything to it. But yeah, not a big deal. Alright, so here we go. So got that plate done. I'm going to leave it the same width as the top one, so then when I bring something down the side, it can sort of, it's got something to maybe put tap a couple of little bolts into. So that there is going to get cut out. I'll take that out and do that on the mill. Then, okay, so one bit, it's going to go here, sort of like that. And this bit here, you can see there I've done across there and then across there. So this is a bit of an estimation at the minute, but that's where that's going to sit. So see that line and that one there. So we've got cut there, and then this plate will sit up on top of that bit. So I'll get two of them cut out. I should be able to use that angle for both pieces. Get two of them cut out. Yeah, then we'll be able to sit that plate up there and just sort of see how it looks. Alright, so that's mock-up of how it's going to be, basically. Yeah, so once that hole's cut in there, that'll all just be an open cavity which will feed back into the manifold there. Alright, so I marked around, see that line there? Marked that, that's how much I'm going to cut off it. And then I just welded this bit on the back to hold that as all together while I'm cutting it. So it's got a bit across the front there as well. So I'll cut around those three sides, then trim these bits off, and then weld it back on. Alright, so yeah, there we go. I had to mill that out just to flatten that off a bit. And then just did that. I'll clean it up a little bit once I get home. Grind up all the outside. Then yeah, then I'll have to tack the top plate on. I'll make sure that's all square with the engine, like front and back and side to side. Just when I tack it, because this might be sort of slightly out, just to make sure the belt runs true. So I'll clean that up a bit. Making hot. Yeah, that should, I'll just do a bit of fine tuning once I get it home to the manifold. It'll be cool. Alright, so I've got this tacked up. You can see there. obviously there's no hole in the top. I've got to figure out exactly where that's going. Okay, let's just sit back to where it's going to go. Like that. I'll throw one bolt in just to hold it. Alright, it's going to sit somewhere there. Like that. I didn't want to do it too high, so the back of the blower outlet actually ends about here. So what I'm going to do is with this plate here, I'll grind that on a bit of an angle just to sort of taper it into that bit there. But yeah, that's got to be pretty close there. Measured how far out from here to get this to all line up. So that's how it's going to look. And then get some aluminium sheet like this stuff. Probably end up sort of paneling that straight down there to kind of make some sides to the manifold. Obviously be all cut to fit, but yeah, so that's sweet. So tomorrow I'll get a new slot drill for the crankshaft, get that keyway cut, and then hopefully bearings arrive soon and I can sort of start getting that motor back together, get that harmonic balancer on so then I can lock in the exact location for this, get that on there. So it's going to be cool. Alright, so I found this off cut. Just going to lop it off to 130 millimeters. Hopefully. There we go. Alright, I just need to cut a couple little notches out of it. That's alright. That. Oh, yep. Alright, so after about an hour of grinding and just back and forward, finally got this trimmed to where it's close enough that I can just finish it at home with the file. I am going to router this back bit as well to wrap it around the back, but I'll peel that plastic off. There we go, that little black box. So that'll get trimmed, I think, a little bit to where the windscreen and stuff goes. Oh, not bad. Alright guys, we've got sunlight again. It's been raining for like non-stop the last week and a bit. Finally got sunlight, it's very exciting. So, here's my little adapter where it's at now. I just cut out the top bit there. So I'm just going to clean that up with the flap disc a little bit. Then I'm just, because I had to cut in a bit further to be able to cut it, I'm just going to weld those bits back up and get that tidied up. I've just got to go and get some studs and I can tap those, put some studs in there, and then it should be pretty right to throw on. And I think one of the old belts I've got from the gas will even work, so I might even be able to just fire it up today. Success. So just got a new cam sensor there, put it in. It wasn't going right when I first put it in. I was like, oh, shit, what's going on? Swapped the cam wires, and she's all good. Full running and full, no errors. I couldn't believe it, I kept revving it, it kept saying no errors. So, now that that's working, I think it might be time to bolt this thing on. So I'm going to swap the carbies over. That's my E85 carby. Or I can leave that one on there, but I'll just have to swap the fuel out to methanol. But this one's not boost referenced, but it'll be fine when you're just going to rev it just to sort of see how it runs and how the belt alignment and stuff works. Yeah, so I'll pull that carby off, put it on top of the blower, put the blower on. See if we can make boost. Alright, we're about to do this first start of the blown engine. I just swapped the blower on. We've lost all the faults and stuff, so it's all running good. The only problem is I can't get any line to hook up this fuel system at the minute. So I'm missing a few fittings, so I'm just going to pour some methanol down in there. So this carb is set up for methanol. We'll just be able to empty the bowls and just see basically if it runs, if it idles, if it can rev it, make a little bit of boost, and let's see what happens. So I'll just fill these up. Alright, put those switches on. Won't do fuel pump because I think it's spewing everywhere. Ignition and dash. Give it a second.
So that's plugged into your...
Yeah, that's hooked into the ECU, so that just shows you. It'll show you the oil pressure and fuel pressure's going because there's nothing hooked up yet. Let's see the dash. Yeah, we're all good on the dash. The boost will be, oh, where is it? Yeah, just there, so it's 14. That's like basically 0 at the minute.
Yep.
Right, let's see
Oh, so boost won't show on the screen there.
Oh, it will, because 14's
oh, is in on
like
this screen?
ground level. Yeah, it might actually. No, I don't think so.
Righto. So there we go.
Shit.
Oh!
Well, there's obviously an intake leak. I think I can see it right at the back there. Look at that gasket. No, it's really hard to see, but it looks like the blower actually bows up, or this bows down a little bit.
Oh yeah, you can see a tiny little gap down the bottom.
So that's why that idle was so high. Yeah. But other than that, it sounded pretty cool, shouldn't it? Sick. Well, the belt stayed on.
Surprised how good it sounded just straight out there.
Yeah, that.
Because usually it pops, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounded a hell of a lot better. Boost fixes everything. So, yeah, I'll have to pull that back off. I might have to take it out and mill that top plate just to make sure it's completely flat. Oh, well, that's good. At least now it's running. I don't think there was any errors showing up. Oh, two. Yeah, anyway, last time I started it showed like 130 errors.
Oh.
It's better.
Two's better than 130, I think.
Yeah, right, well now I can start putting the radiator and everything back on because I was scared to do that before until I was sure all the cam stuff was right. But
yeah.
Sick. You could hear a bit of blower noise too, which is kind of cool.
Especially considering you didn't really give it any.
Yeah.
So that's full song, you can hear it.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome.